Welcome to the Event Services Training video series, Introduction to 25 Live Pro. In this section, we'll go over how to access the 25 Live Pro system, how to customize your dashboard, how to find events you've created, and how to use the availability calendar. On the Event Services website, you can find links to 25 Live Pro in several places, including the main page, the event planning guide, and the reservations in 25 Live guide, to name a few. You can also access 25 Live Pro through UMB Involved by going to the Campus Link section and clicking Reserve a Space. Of course, you can access the service by typing in the address, which is 25live.collegenet.com/pro/UMB. If you plan to access the service frequently, we recommend that you bookmark the page. Once on 25 Live Pro, you can sign in using the same credentials you use to access other UMass Boston affiliated services like Blackboard, Wiser, and your UMB email. When entering your email, you do not need to include @umb.edu. After you sign in, you will be brought to the dashboard. You can customize your dashboard by clicking on the Customize Dashboard button on the lower right side of the screen. A few helpful items you may want to add to your dashboard are Quick Search and Find Available Locations. Quick Search will let you quickly look up any events, locations, or resources. Find Available Locations is helpful if you know when you want to have your event but don't know what spaces are available, or if you know what space you want to use but don't know when it is available. Feel free to check out the other tools available and arrange them any way you see fit. On the dashboard, there's a section labeled Your Upcoming Events. Below it, you should see a number of events in which you are the requester. If you click on the highlighted number, it will bring you to a page that lists all of your upcoming events. By default, it will show you only future events, although you can change this to show all events you've created, even if they've already happened. By default, the events show up in a list format. You can change this to a calendar view, but the default format makes finding events much easier. By clicking on the titles of the columns, you can sort the list by name, start date, or creation date to help find the event you're looking for. If you click on the name of the event, you'll be brought to the event details page where you will get an in-depth look at the reservation. You can see some of the details such as event name and title, organization, head count, and description. You can edit the reservation by clicking on Edit, although only a few fields can be updated after the reservation has been submitted: the event or meeting title and the event description. If you need to make any other edits to the reservation, you must contact the Event Services office. To view even more details about your event, you can click on the Occurrences tab, which will give you a breakdown of the time of the event, as well as locations and equipment being utilized. In the time breakdown, you can see the event setup time with the light green shade. This time is for the Event Services setup crew to set up the space. Next is the pre-event time with the darker shade of green. This time is when the hosting organization can enter the space and begin setting up. Then is the time of the event, in an even darker shade of green. This is when the event will actually be occurring. And finally is the breakdown time, in a lighter shade of green. This time is for the hosting organization to wrap up their event and clean up the space or remove any decorations that they may have set up. Below you will see all of the locations that are reserved for the event in the setup details. If there are no setup details or the setup details are not correct, you can contact the Event Services office to make any necessary changes, as these cannot be updated by the requester after the reservation has initially been submitted. You can access the availability calendar by clicking on the More button in the top right corner, then select Availability. The availability calendar is a helpful tool that can be used to see all of the events taking place on campus on any given day in a glance. There are two filtering options on the calendar. The first is for locations. The location search can filter the calendar by a building or even more specific searches like classrooms, tabling locations, or outdoor spaces. Once you have the location search set up, you can select a date by clicking on the date displayed. You can view future dates or even use the calendar to see events that have already taken place. In the upper left-hand corner, there is a legend that can be used to help understand the availability calendar. Green is the default event for an event. Orange is the color for a related event, meaning the reservation is connected to another reservation. An event with the purple diagonal lines is used for a pending event, meaning that someone is currently creating a reservation for the space that has not been submitted yet. A dark gray block indicates a blackout period, meaning the space cannot be reserved. You may see this on holidays. A light gray block means that the space is closed, it cannot be reserved. Some spaces are not available before or after business hours, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you click on an event, it will bring you to the event details page we viewed previously. If you click on a space that does not already have an event taking place, you can create an event for that date, time, and location. The availability calendar is a very helpful way to quickly see what spaces are available on campus. Keep in mind when reserving a space, the reservations must be made at least 5 days in advance.